Started in 1897 with a primary focus on achieving excellence, Dublin City Schools sought to provide the best education possible for the children of Dublin and Lawrence County. Over the years, Dublin City Schools has won numerous awards for academic and athletic achievement. By pushing the boundaries of traditional education to inspire greatness, our students have gone on to become everything from generals and fighter pilots to doctors, lawyers, and even Super Bowl champions. Dublin City Schools became a charter system specifically to continue that focus of inspiring greatness among our students. Using our broad flexibility to hire industry professionals in everything from construction and nursing to welding and videography, our students are being prepared like never before to succeed in an ever-changing workplace. With a growing international baccalaureate program, a new gifted academy, and more business and industry partnerships than ever, Dublin City Schools is closer than ever to reaching its #1 strategic goal of high achievement and success for all students. A lot has changed at Dublin City Schools over the past 100+ years, except for one thing: our commitment to excellence. Because at Dublin City Schools, we know that a world-class effort by everyone, every day, everywhere, means more than simply living out a slogan. It means giving our students the chance to live out their wildest dreams. Dublin City Schools, where high achievement and success for all students is what we're all about.
What gets me excited about science, part where you're actually learning and you find out new and exciting things while doing an experiment or doing anything that has science involved. For this experiment, I was thinking about how you go to the dentist, you have a cavity, and the reason you have a cavity is because you always drink these sugary things. I was gonna have a dentist appointment coming up, so I was like, why not make that into a science experiment?
That's exactly what we always want them to do. You know, we try to lead them into the direction easier when they are interested in something. And so she had a question.
And it just speaks volumes of her, hey, real world problem, let's see if I can fix it.
Women only make up about 28% of the STEM careers. African American women only make up 9%.
Notice that Mayana Wells's award came from the Scientific Research Society of Science and Engineering, along with the CDC. Wow, we are making a difference.
Not too long ago, we learned about a few careers in science. I wasn't that interested, but now since I've done this project, I think that I'm a little bit more interested for STEM careers. What gets me excited about science?
I just had a lot of extra time at school and I just started reading a lot.
Trip is a unique student. He is excited about learning. He's full of questions.
You know, we started reading with him when he was a baby. He would read the same books over and over again as a 2-year-old. And so he, practically memorized Dr. Seuss's A Crack in the Trap. He set the goal of 1 million words, and when he met 1 million words before Christmas, we said, you know what, maybe you should set a new goal to finish 2 million words by the end of the year.
He's a researcher. He loves to read. He's adventurous. He loves to just dig deeper.
I like the Hunger Games, Percy Jackson series. I started on the Divergent series, but the libraries are closed, so I can't get the other ones.
I think he's reading on like a high school or college grade level. Trying to push him while keeping content safe, kid-friendly, but in an exciting way.
Well, we decided to give some incentives to our students who were reading, who were meeting their goals.
Starts at 100,000 and 200,000 and so on to a million.
Hey, how old are you? 2 million word readers. Look at you!
Big reader.
Big reader.
Well, I read for words every day.
Good day and welcome to Leading and Learning with Dr. Fred Williams. I am the superintendent of Dublin City Schools, and I am so excited today to have with us here Mr. John Strickland, our CCRPI coordinator and our director of transportation. And we're here to discuss with you the goings-on of the Dublin City Schools as it relates to the upcoming school year, the 2021 school year. With that, we know that based on the coronavirus, we were thrusted into a new normal, a new reality, school systems across the state of Georgia. But specifically here in the Dublin City Schools, with that, we know as other school systems, it brings about 5 different challenges. The first challenge that we are experiencing as school systems across the state and the nation, if you would, is the public health challenge. With this particular challenge, there's a lot of information in terms of treatments and the race for the cure and other things that are associated with the public health challenge with new information daily. And we know that the numbers are going up not only in our community and in our South Central Health District, but across the state and the nation. So that presents a challenge for school systems. Another challenge, the second challenge, we know that there's a lack of agreement as it relates to the coronavirus and what should be going on. It even shows up in the political arena where no one really can agree concerning the coronavirus, and that also poses different things that schools have to wrestle with, and as we keep our number one goal, high achievement and success for all students, and also as we keep in mind student safety, health and well-being, and staff safety, health and well-being, which is of utmost importance to us here in the Dublin City School System. Another key challenge that we will face in the Dublin City School System, as well as school systems across the state and nation, is the lack of time. We just got out of school in May. Here we are, a day away from July. And in our current calendar, we're expected to be back in school on August the 6th at this point, but we want to share some other information that we are working through our Board of Education and all of our stakeholders with concerning a possible another calendar. Also, we know that another challenge is that every decision we make will be scrutinized, and we know that. We know that the decisions that we make have to stand the court of public opinion. We are a charter school system. We have different stakeholders, business people, parents at every level on our governance teams, and we're working with our South Central Health District as well as our local GEMA and other agencies to make sure that we have looked through the different lenses, because we know that decisions will be scrutinized. And our fifth challenge is that the shift in circumstances, just as the shift with the numbers, all the circumstances, information we get from the state level and other agencies tend to shift. We want to talk about 3 different learning environments that we are planning to offer in the Dublin City School System as we continue our quest to be a global school system that's producing globally competitive students. Also, as we continue to help our young people be effective communicators, problem solvers, and lifelong learners. We're preparing for our reopening, and we're looking at 3 different learning environments. Our first learning environment is a at-school learning environment. Our second learning environment is an at-home learning environment. And our third learning environment that we will provide for the upcoming school year is a hybrid blended learning environment. With our at-home, at-school learning environment, we will follow the updates from the CDC. Students will be physically distanced, spaced apart where possible. We're encouraging all students, strongly encouraging students to wear masks. Parents are asked to take temperatures prior to their learner coming to our learning environment at school, and we will be taking temperatures as those students come to school as well daily. Also, our second learning environment is an at-home learning environment. And with this particular learning environment, students will be assigned to digital platforms. Our LMS, our learning management system, is Google Classroom, and students and families will be provided the resources that they need to be successful at home studies. We've learned a lot, and we're still learning during this time. And so students, parents, and teachers will agree on a home study agreement, and that will be signed by the students, parents, and the school based on what will take place for the learning of that student. And so we're very excited about those students. We have the Irish Digital Academy, and we're still enrolling students in the Irish Digital Academy. So if you're not a part of our school system, whether you're a homeschool, private, or any, you're welcome to be a part of our school system. Also, we have the hybrid blended model. In this model, students will receive a combination of traditional in-class options that'll be physically distanced, but also provided with some distance learning. It'll be a blend between the at-school model and the at-home model. This will allow students to use Google Classrooms to engage in meeting class requirements. What this might look like, your learner might be very astute at math, but they might need a little more help in ELA and reading. So your students can learn in their other subjects at home, but you might want them to be face-to-face with our English language arts and our reading teachers, and so they would come to school during that time that they would be normally scheduled for that particular course. This is a flexible option. We are a charter school system. We're one of the few charter school systems around, and so we have opportunities to meet the needs of all of our learners. Prior to COVID being a reality for schools in Georgia and particularly in our nation as well, we had already adopted a traditional calendar. And that traditional calendar, we had 180 days for students, 190 days for staff members. That calendar had us with an August the 6th start date. Our pre-planning began on July the 30th. And again, as we talk about those different challenges that schools face, and as we have been crafting a well put together plan to, number one, keep our students and staff safe, but also help our students receive that world-class, globally competitive learning, we looked at some other options, and we're just being very transparent. We need our stakeholders to be engaged. And as we go through the day, please visit our website for our Let's Talk portion of our website. Any questions, comments, if you would leave your questions or comments there and also your contact information, we will be sure to get back with you. We're also going to put a frequently asked questions portion on our websites once we get all this information. We'll be sharing all this data with our Board of Education so that they can make an informed decision pertaining to the calendar. And at this time, I want to turn it over to Mr. John Strickland as he talks us through our current calendar and some of the benefits that will be ultimately for students and our staff as we traverse through the terrain of this new normal with the COVID.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. We first came up with this first calendar, and it's just a traditional calendar that we have. And as we'll show you here shortly, we're going to show you our calendar we're looking to possibly move toward here in the next few weeks or so. The traditional is just normal. We've got several different holidays during holiday opportunities during the school year, but and this is what we had adopted before, like Dr. Williams said, the COVID-19 came about. Now, one thing that I'll mention too, we're looking at the data that you, our parents, are sending us through a survey we sent out on these three different options that you could possibly look at. Well, what we like, if you have not received that survey, make sure, like Dr. Williams said, come into Let's Talk on our website. Let us know you have not received it. Principals were to send it out through Remind, and you may not be tied to our Remind system or something of that nature, but we really need your information, your data when it comes to your family, what your thoughts are. Because with that, we've looked at this data, and this is where we've kind of come up with the current calendar. So this is what we need. I want to show you the current calendar. I mean, let's get off the traditional calendar. Let's move on to the optional that we're looking at. All right, this process, our thoughts in this calendar, which I'm going to explain to you here shortly. Some of the things we're looking at, like Dr. Williams said earlier, our numbers are rising right now, so it's kind of an unstable time. So one of the things we're looking at with this process is, we're looking at pushing the start back a little bit later, which I'll talk to you with in just a second. But one of the reasons for that is we're trying to give an opportunity for these numbers to kind of stable off and get a better idea. Plus, we've got a lot of school systems starting a little bit earlier, and it gives us an opportunity to see what they're doing, what successes and what failures they may be running into, which strengthens our schedule. Now, the other process of this whole deal, you know as well as I do, March 16th, we came out to you and said, hey, we're going to go home and we're going online. The governor's closing down schools for a while on March 17th. That happened. and it wound up we were gone the rest of the school year. Now, we know in our, in our, I guess you would say, monitoring of our system and our teachers, we know some are a little bit ahead of the game when it comes to the online platforms we have. Some are kind of in the middle, and might have had some struggles but got it going, and some we might have struggled to weigh it through. So we've been working on that over the summer. But the other piece of that is we're really needing the time to intensify the training and go through the process. If you'll look on this calendar here that we have, go back to what Dr. Williams said. Tomorrow's July 1, and we were looking at coming back July 30, and the State Department and the governor's orders are still coming out, giving us ideas about school. Well, it's giving us a short period of time, so we're trying to think ahead and plan a little bit, and we've been meeting daily, well, basically 3 days a week for sure, and we're getting ready to go to daily as we continue to make these plans to reopen. This calendar gives us a pre-planning date of August 3rd through the 7th. One of the biggest things we've got to get done is we've got to get our facilities where they need to be before we can safely bring your students in, your family in, to our building, because we want them to be 100% safe when we walk in. That's our utmost goal. And so if we take that first week is going to be so teachers can work on social distancing classrooms. We're going to be able to social distance our hallways, finalize our plans for people entering our building. There's a lot of things that go on with this process, and that gives us a full week where we're just going to completely concentrate on that process, getting the facilities and our classrooms ready for your child's safe return. Now, if you look and you see those light blue numbers starting on August the 10th, we go all the way to August the 26th. That gives us 13 days. 13 days of intense training when it comes to all of our online platforms. And like I said, everything we do, we go through Google Classroom, but we have some instructional programs that we use to make this happen. And we want to make sure that all of our teachers have gained the confidence and feel great about being able to teach your child. And there's going to be opportunities too, if these numbers continue to go the way they do. There might be days where we'll go home, and God forbid we have a COVID situation in our schools. We'll have to close down and deep clean and then bring everybody back. So there's a lot of reasoning. We've got to get everybody together online and be confident about the way we bring the instruction to your child. Now, you're going to see August the 27th, and we're going to go the 27th, 28th, 31st, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. All right, there's 7 days. We're going to start bringing our students into the building those days, okay? Now, here's the issue with that. We're going to bring grade levels in. They'll be assigned days they're going to come. We'll run transportation. We'll open the building up for those grade levels. Those students are coming so we can pre-assess the students, all right? Because we left in March, all right? And we've not been really face-to-face instruction for April, May, June, July, into August. So you're talking about at least 5 months. So what we want to do is we want to know right where your child is. So we're going to bring students in by grade level. We're going to pre-assess the students, see where those children are, see where they are academically, and that way we know what our task is going to be at hand. All right, we know where they are, where we're starting with them, and where we're going, and it gives us better data that we can plan and get instruction started. Now, you'll notice that we run into the Labor Day holiday on September the 7th. September the 8th would actually be the true day that we actually bring everybody in and we start actually, if you're face-to-face, you're in our buildings on the 8th. If you're online, you're going to start the online process on the 8th. If it's a blended situation where we have a hybrid setup where we're doing some different things, all of it will start on the 8th. That'll be the true official first day, although your child will have been in the building on those previous days, on their assigned day to be pre-assessed. Now, as we go through, one thing we're looking at, we're using August 27th as our true first day of school. That gives us a 164-day calendar for students. Our teachers will be working 190. The 164 days, Dr. Williams said earlier, we're a charter system. We have a little more flexibility to do things, and we feel like this gets us a better opportunity to be better prepared to teach the students online, better prepared with our facilities, and kind of seeing how things are safe in the world as we speak. We'll have 2 82-day semesters, 4 41-day quarters, and as you see, we get into October, the first quarter will end on October 23rd. October the 26th, we'll have Professional Learning Day, and that Professional Learning Day is strictly to get progress reports ready, report cards, whatever we're going to send out at that time. Also, for our teachers to come together with administrative staff, and we're all sitting there as one trying to determine, hey, how is this going? What are we doing? Where are we headed? How did the whole process take place these first 41 days? Then if you see we move into November, our Christmas break stays the same. December will actually, the last day for students will be the 16th instead of the 17th as per the traditional calendar. We'll go all the way till January the 4th, and we'll come back to school on January the 5th. We'll have 9 days, and then we'll get to the 15th. That will be the last day of the first semester. The first semester ends right there. That's the Martin Luther King holiday weekend. And so we'll have the Martin Luther King holiday on the 18th. The 19th, we'll have another Professional Learning Day that students will get an extra day. Then we'll start back on the second semester. We'll roll into February. We'll have the President's Day holiday. We are losing some time in the middle there with the long holiday like we had last year. But then we get into March. That's the same. The 18th is the same day we normally have our third 9 weeks in, and that's the day that they'll have the St. Patrick's pancake supper. And we always are off that day, so the next day so they can clean the facility at the middle school. We'll have another virtual learning day or professional learning day for our teachers and staff to get everything ready for grades. Now, I did need one extra holiday, and our Easter's going to roll in on April the 4th this year, and then we go right into spring break. Well, we needed one day for a holiday because that gives us our traditional ending on May the 25th, right in that May 25th through 28th area. So we can end on Tuesday, May 25th, but what we've done is we've added Good Friday as a holiday, and so we'll get Good Friday, have Easter, and then have spring break, and then we'll actually, after that, we'll be doing some testing of our own, because Dr. Williams, as we get into later, you'll understand about this waiver, again, trying to eliminate state testing for this year, but we'll have our own, so we'll have a growth piece to be able to help with decisions toward the end of the school year. That's kind of a quick overview of what we're thinking, and like I said, we're strictly doing this. It's going to help our teachers get more prepared for the online piece because we could be in and out of school. You just don't know what this COVID situation is going to bring. It also is going to give us the opportunity to bring students in and pre-assess, know exactly where they are. Also, maybe we can get some of this social distancing and the COVID numbers to stabilize and some things soften a little bit. And then two, it just gives us an opportunity to see other places and get some things that we can work on with strengths and weaknesses so we can bring you the strongest plan that we can possibly provide so we can better prepare your child as they continue to move forward in Dublin City Schools.
And again, the governor and the state school superintendent have entered an agreement to waive the milestones testing. They're appealing that to US Ed. But in the Dublin City school system, we want to keep our young people safe. We're very concerned about student safety, health, and well-being, and also staff safety, health, and well-being. And also our number one goal also with that is high achievement and success for all students. With that in mind, we've are offering this option. We need your feedback. Listen, this is your school system. And parents, if you have not filled out the learning environment survey, we need your help. We need your support. Faith leaders, business community, families and friends, please, let's encourage our parents and family members to fill out that survey. If you need help, you can contact us on our Let's Talk app, or you can call the board office at 353-8000, and we will be glad to help you with your survey. Listen again, we need you. This is your Dublin City school system, and we want to keep our young people safe and well mentally, emotionally, socially, and academically and athletically. So again, we thank you for your time today. Again, please reach out to us at our Let's Talk platform online. Again, we thank you and help us to achieve high achievement and success for all students. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Thank you.
Schools sought to provide the best education possible for the children of Dublin and Lawrence County. Over the years, Dublin City Schools has won numerous awards for academic and athletic achievement. By pushing the boundaries of traditional education to inspire greatness, our students have gone on to become everything from generals and fighter pilots to doctors, lawyers, and even Super Bowl champions. Dublin City Schools became a charter system specifically to continue that focus of inspiring greatness among our students. Using our broad flexibility to hire industry professionals in everything from construction and nursing to welding and videography, our students are being prepared like never before to succeed in an ever-changing workplace. With a growing international baccalaureate program, a new gifted academy, and more business and industry partnerships than ever, Dublin City Schools is closer than ever to reaching its #1 strategic goal of high achievement and success for all students. A lot has changed at Dublin City Schools over the past 100+ years, except for one thing: our commitment to excellence. Because at Dublin City Schools, we know that a world-class effort by everyone, every day, everywhere, means more than simply living out a slogan. It means giving our students the chance to live out their wildest dreams. Dublin City Schools, where high achievement and success for all students is what we're all about.